What is up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks so much for being here and for being subscribed. If you're not, go ahead and hit that button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit that like button. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into this politics and BS. I wanted to circle back and do a little update because I talked about this recently where Giuliani was ordered in the defamation case that he was already found guilty of defaming Shaye Moss and Ruby Freeman, former Georgia election workers. He was putting all this information out there about them when it came to the 2020 election that they fraudulently said was fraud. How about that? But he was putting information out there saying that they were passing vials of drugs and they were rigging the voting machines and just doing all kinds of stuff that they were not doing. And it caused these women to literally go through hell where lunatics and clowns and ridiculous people that feel in some way, shape, or form that if their king and their Lord and Savior 45 was still in office, then somehow they're going to live everlasting life. But anyway, that's another story. But anyway, these people were putting threats on their lives and just doing all kinds of crazy stuff. This woman had to move away. They had to quit their jobs. They have been living a perpetual hell on earth. And I don't wish that on anyone, even people that I hate. Okay. And there's not many people I hate, but there's some people that I just really can't stand their ways. And anyway, but I talked about the story recently, and not so much just to report it, but to say that even though they were awarded all of this money, what are the chances of them seeing any of it? Is this going to be nothing more than a judgment on paper that they cannot collect on because he's going to go through all of these hoops and hurdles to not pay them their money? And he was crying about not being able to pay his legal bills because the dummy, my personal opinion, the dummy had done so much crap that he was in the midst of all of these different lawsuits and he'd done all this crap for his supposed friend, 45, and he wasn't going to give him any money because he didn't even pay the bills for him when he was representing him. He refused to pay his friend, Rudy Giuliani, for the work that he did. He did a fundraiser for him. He was like, all right, these idiots, they can donate some money and pay for my bills for the money that I owe you, but I'm not going to pay you. It's just really crazy the way things work and how some of these people operate. But I wanted to talk about this because I think this is good news for them, but we shall see. So a federal judge on Wednesday granted the former Georgia election workers, Ruby Freeman and Shaye Moss, request to expedite their $148 million judgment against Rudy Giuliani, saying that the mother and daughter have good cause to fear Giuliani may attempt to avoid paying them. Following a week-long trial, a federal jury last week ordered Giuliani to pay nearly $150 million to the two women for defaming them with false accusations that they committed election fraud while counting ballots in Georgia's Fulton County on Election Day in 2020. Freeman and Moss subsequently asked the judge to permit immediate enforcement of the judgment out of concern that the former New York City mayor could attempt to find a way to dissipate his assets before plaintiffs are able to recover. Judge Beryl Howell agreed Wednesday that Giuliani's record as an unwilling and uncooperative litigant provides the plaintiffs good cause to believe that he will seek to dissipate or conceal his assets before paying them. Howell added that other civil cases filed against Giuliani, including one filed by his former attorney, Robert Costello, and another filed by President Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, raised the risk that Giuliani has even greater motivation to hide his financial assets from potential future judgments against him. If Giuliani intends to appeal the judgment, which he has indicated he plans to do, he would have to comply with the usual requirements of a full supersedes bond, meaning that he may have to post a bond in the full amount of the judgment. So they're basically saying that in order for him to even appeal this judgment, he's going to have to put up the money anyway, in lieu of him filing this appeal. And if he wins it, which he more likely than not will not win it, they are ensured that he's not using this to just stretch out the time and not pay these women the money that they owe. But who's to say he hasn't already dissipated his assets? To be quite honest, him being an attorney, and like, look at the irony of that. His attorney is suing him, who is also an attorney. I believe his law license got revoked or canceled or whatever in New York. I believe that's what happened. I can't really recall. I would have to look that up. So I don't want to say the exact wrong thing right now. But what is the irony of his attorney suing him, who is an attorney, and him being an attorney all of these years and going through this? I don't think he was just sitting on his hands waiting to see what the amount of the judgment was going to be, because the actual defamation was already, it was already ordered that he had defamed them. The actual trial was to determine how much, in terms of the recovery they should receive for the defamation, he should be paying them. So, I mean, who's to say that he hasn't already done that, dissipated his assets, put things in other people's names and whatever? That's the type of stuff that people do. And I'm not even going to lie. I'm not saying that I don't understand regular people doing stuff like that when it comes to like big companies that may be suing them or whatever, because it's like, why am I going to just give up everything that I have to give this company that doesn't really need my money everything that I have left? So no, I'm not going to allow them to liquidate my assets, the home that I'm living in. And I don't think they can do that. But I'm just saying, I understand people doing that. But when it comes to slime balls like him, that, like, literally, in my personal opinion, committed a crime, not just a civil crime, but my personal opinion is anyone that would cause people to put attempts on people's lives, I believe that's criminal. That's my opinion. But anyway, who's to say he hasn't already dissipated his assets? But I'm just saying, I really hope and pray that they get what's due to them, which is all of the money. Give them all of their money, because he was still outside of the court continuing to defame them. And to my knowledge, I believe that they filed another suit against him for an injunction because of the continual defamation that he's doing. It's just absolutely insane. And slime balls like this, they tend to live a long time. So I really hope and pray that he is like those two people that were on that movie Trading Places, where they were so wealthy and then they just lost everything, where they were outside living on the streets. That's what he deserves. He doesn't deserve to have anything left to his name. And then one of his former staffers is suing him for sexual harassment. And I didn't really go into detail with that. I talked about that a little bit, but that was pretty graphic. It wasn't as graphic as Cassie's lawsuit against Diddy, but he has been accused to have done and said some disgusting things. The man is disgusting, okay? So they deserve every dollar that they have been ordered to receive. So anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you for liking and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until the next time, I just wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.